The head injury program began in 1992, another very important milestone for Redi.
Yeah, that was another innovative one too, which is really interesting. In that at the time, that type of program really didn't exist in Alberta. So it was, and I wasn't with Redi at the time, so I can tell you what I've heard anecdotally from how this started up. That really there was just a group of passionate employees that saw a gap here. That because traditionally what Redi's been funded for is to help people with developmental disabilities, right? Essentially, they're born with a disability. There are other types of disabilities out there, and sometimes those are acquired. So brain injury would be one, where through a workplace injury, maybe a recreational activity, maybe other, you've acquired a brain injury, now you need a little bit of support to get your life back on track and do the things that maybe or learn to live with your disability, or moderate the consequences of it, right? Some rehabilitation, for example. So brain injury relearning services, or BERS for short, started up around that time, and it's been pretty successful. The work that they've done there has actually been modeled in some cases by Alberta Health Services and reproduced across the province. Really, really interesting story behind BERS.
Also, Accessible Transport Project began in 1999. I think they called it the Redi bus.
Yeah, so that really no longer exists as it was, but very probably influential in establishing the accessible transit that we have right now run by the city. Luckily, municipalities now are more or less mandated to provide some form of public transit to the entire population that they serve, including accessible means. That didn't used to be the case. It really relied on supports in the community, or somebody had to step up and do it. So
yeah, and another example of where Redi was a leader.
Yeah, exactly. Redi does have one thing I take a lot of pride in now as the executive director of Redi is looking back over the history and looking at a lot of the innovation that Redi's done that I can't take credit for because I'm pretty new to my job, but it's exciting to think that we have this history of being often the first to tackle a problem that we see, and then even sometimes the government will follow us when the government decides, hey, that's really something that we should be involved in. That's impressive when you can look back on that and say, our organization led this.
If people are driving by on Allowance Avenue past the Redi building, if you look to your right, if you're heading southbound, there's a wonderful mural there.
Yeah.
James Marshall started in 2008.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, we do have a James Marshall mural right on the building, which is pretty cool. That's definitely a kind of a cultural touchstone for Medicine Hatton area, as these James Marshall murals, right? Yeah. There's and yeah, I think the building is pretty distinctive with its bright red coloring that we've got on it. There's a big painting of an airplane, a paper airplane in flight on the side of the building. One thing that probably doesn't appear in your history there, because it never actually ended up happening, but for a period of time there was plans in place to put this gigantic steel paper airplane on the roof of the building. Yeah, so I think this was in planning in like the 90s or maybe early 2000s, and I'm not sure why it didn't happen. Could be a combination of budget. It does, but it would have been distinctive for sure. I think there was also concerns about a windstorm comes up and launches it off the building into the flats somewhere.
Just like in the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
You're not in Kansas anymore.